Which did you do more recently? Change your toothbrush or train your writers?
Great question.
Because we've all been educated now that we know we need to change our toothbrush twice a year, I think it is. And if we don't, what happens? Well, we can keep going. And we can keep going. It can be 1 year, it can be 2 years. But actually, it's far less effective as a toothbrush. And then we get serious problems, right? So change toothbrush twice a year. The world is moving so fast. Even if it wasn't, you would want to be modernizing and evolving your brand very fast as well. You want to be continually relevant. Yet you're expecting your writers to just get it. You kind of wouldn't leave your finance department untrained. You wouldn't leave your customer service department untrained. You wouldn't leave your tech department untrained. Yet you somehow expect your writers to not be trained regularly. And so that's one of the things I often think about is, have you trained your writers recently? If not, what could you expect? You could expect them, first of all, to stay with you longer, right? You're probably going to save that money straight away. We're all facing a hiring and rehiring crisis, right? You could probably save money straight away. People love training. They love being better at what they do. It's one of the critical dimensions of a happy worker is a sense of mastery. So if you're not training your writers, how are you expecting them to become masters of their trade? Secondly, you're going to see productivity gains. Right, so isn't that a good thing? And there should be a third thing there, but who needs it after the first two?
That's great. I mean, I feel like that's a nugget that I think can be applied, just to anyone that's working within any organization of any shape and size. Talk about retaining high performing people. Keep training them, keep giving them resources to be even better, put them on the path of mastery that, by the way, never ends. The path of mastery, it always keeps going. But, I can count on one hand how many, employers that I've worked for in the past decade plus that took training that seriously. And also like beyond like your onboarding training, that's one thing. Okay, let's get onboarded. But what about like continuing to get better and better and better at your craft? We're going to support you at that too. And to your point, Chris, I'm likely going to stay somewhere a lot longer if they're investing in me in that way. So I think that's brilliant.
They're going to stay longer. They're going to be happier when they're there, so they're going to be more productive. Jeremy, do you know how many days of training I had in my advertising career when I was working for other people? More than 10 years, I had 0 days of training.
Wow.
I
It's
mean,
amazing.
that's it, nothing. When I started my first business, I couldn't even use an Excel spreadsheet. I mean, I'm so embarrassed now, but
I get it. No, I totally get it. It's another big elephant in the room, I think, that a lot of people aren't talking about and pointing out. And honestly, when I have conversations with a lot of executives across the board, and we talk about the great retention or the great rehiring or, no one's really talking about training and development as much. And I think that's really important. Let's remember that's a key thing we can do. So that's great.
Can I say as well that training comes in 3 levels of expense? There's training that we all think of, which is the workshop and maybe a bit of engagement afterwards. That's kind of the standard. If you want to spend more but get far more for your return, it's training plus coaching. What we've found, and there are good models, good scientific evidence that, okay, you put everyone in a room, you teach them, that's great. But actually the real super gains come from offering those people one-to-one coaching. And if you don't want to spend the top tier, biggest return, if you don't want to spend the middle tier, even buying someone a book is a great little piece of training. I mean, a book, £12, £15, you give that to an employee and say, look, budgets are tight this year, I know, but I bought this for you. And I'd love to see you reading it in the office sometimes with your feet up on the desk, because then I know you're getting something and you're training, even if we can't afford a full training package at the moment.
That's good. That's great. I love that. That's actually good, like tangible things. Any size business can think about that. So that's fantastic.
Any size business can buy a good book and give it to an employee.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this channel for more great marketing interviews with today's top industry leaders. And thank you to our partners at Salesforce. Salesforce brings marketing and engagement together. Head over to salesforce.com/marketing.